Hello, everybody, and welcome to this conversation from our Beyond Beliefs retreat. So, I'm Katy Green, and I'm sitting here with the fabulous Robbie, who has just completed the Beyond Beliefs retreat with us. So, these are conversations are a way of sharing some of the stories and real experiences that come out from our times together at the retreat. So, those moments of insights and transformation and joy that happen when we step out of our businesses and our busy lives and give ourselves time to reflect and also to work on ourselves. And that's what it was about. So, Robbie, thank you for being here and thank you for being willing to share about your journey with us. To start off, would you mind just telling our listeners a little bit about what you do, and also what was life or work? What did that look like for you before you came on the retreat?
Oh, well, thanks for the introduction, Katie. So it's wonderful to spend that week with yourself, so Nikki. So I very much appreciate being invited to go and do that with yourselves. Yeah, well, I've got a recruitment business it's actually we work in the space sector. Is the sort of is our niche, and apart from that, life is very hectic as well as business. So I think before the retreat, I very much felt like there was a lot going on in business. It was hard to get some clarity, and also there was a lot going on just personally and trying to find that balance of work, life work balance, which I don't know really what the right thing is to do or the wrong thing to do there sometimes. So yeah, I was just sort of open to sort of explore, going on a retreat and giving myself some time really for me.
Yeah, great. And so many, so many of us, particularly when we're entrepreneurs or running very successful and busy recruitment businesses or any business for that matter, taking that
Mm.
time out is seen as a luxury, isn't it? It's the one thing that we tend to put on the back burner, rather than put it as a focus. So what was it that drew you to say yes to that retreat?
Well, I would definitely describe myself as a very open-minded person, and I I do have the ability to meditate if that's what it is. I think it's meditation, mindfulness, those sorts of things, and and I know the benefits I from doing that myself, and that's very much been in my own environment at home. And I thought, well, I was keen to explore that at a deeper level to see what impact that could have on every aspect of my life.
Yeah, great.
Mm.
And for you, what was the most meaningful or maybe memorable part of the retreat?
Uh, well,
Or more
yeah, a few things spring to mind. So I think one of them I would probably say, I think I had some unexpected things with I think some sort of childhood trauma things that brought to the surface that I didn't expect. So that was quite a surprise to deal with, but in a good way, something I didn't know was there. But also meeting it was so pleasant, like-minded people,
Mm,
and feeling reassured that I'm not alone and that everyone's on the same journey in one form of another.
mm,
And it was so great to invest in myself for a change.
mm,
It's very different to, well, I would say sometimes when you're doing things outside of work, whether it's with a family or personally, this really gives you a much clearer headspace because I'm not focusing on exercise down the gym, or I'm not focusing on work or doing stuff with the family. I've got this created this space just for me,
mm,
and it does enable you to switch off. For me personally, it did.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. And because, like you say, some of the exercises that we did or experiences that we had on that retreat were were really quite different, weren't they, in comparison to maybe, like you're saying, whether you're going on a type of retreat, which is even yoga and meditation. Uh, we were working with some very powerful ancestral ceremonies.
Yeah.
How did you find engaging with that type of work?
Um, I think, well, that's a very good question. I think, well, like I said, I have to be honest with these things, and so I think I really embraced it. I think
Mm.
I definitely went in 100%, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go with this, and I found it quite surprising what I learned about
Mm.
myself by immersing myself in that environment.
Mm.
Particularly the sweat lodge, I think was very, that was a I think quite enjoyed, I don't know if I enjoyed it or not, but it was just, I think, to actually, I just, when the door closed and then the chanting, those sort of singing these tribal songs from sort of, I don't know how old some of those songs may have been. I think it was just so powerful. It was quite a surreal experience to actually that I was there, and I didn't expect, I hadn't thought about the fact it was going to be pitch black either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you sort of it's like entering a new paradigm, isn't it? It's like, oh, somebody's picked me up and suddenly transported me to.
yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think, but again, it's just it gives you a platform to be able to express yourself and talk about things that you're grateful for, people that you love, things that you like, things that you learn about yourself that where you feel like you could improve, wishing well upon others. It really is a lovely time for reflection.
Mm.
And that's the environment that it creates going, being on that retreat.
Yeah, time to reflect and time to
Mm,
really think about, well, what is it that I want to continue doing, and what is it maybe that I want to let go of, and what is it that I want to take forward? Like what is
mm.
really serving me right now? It's that opportunity to release things, isn't it, that no longer necessarily serve us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely got rid of a few things that don't serve me.
Amazing. Well,
Mm.
that probably brings us on quite nicely to talk about how the retreat has impacted you, what you've noticed, in your work and in your personal life off the back of it.
I probably say that the big it's not letting the past define me.
Mm.
That's the thing. There's a little bit of, I don't know, blame. I can blame sort of things that have happened to me in the past, whether it's sort of whether it's something to do with your parents or just other things that have happened in life, and that you can easily dwell on those things, and it enabled me to see that I was doing. I was blaming it for a lot of things. As much as there's still a sort of an element of things that you still have to deal with. Things don't necessarily completely go away, but it enabled me to see that for what it was.
Mm.
So, and I think, and onto that, it's a very much, it brings me on to sort of about mindset.
Yeah.
It's very much a mindset thing that is so important, and I can really see how I end up going down sometimes your thoughts can take you down a certain path,
Mm.
and it's not necessarily, well, it isn't right. The brain tricks you. It tricks you into these things, and I think that's one of the big things that I since this I can actually see where my brain is taking me
Mm.
this route. It's like, well, actually, and now it says, well, hang on a minute, that's not the truth. That's not necessarily real. That's just your thinking it's real.
Mm.
Let's go this way instead. So
Mm.
that's a big thing that's happened.
Wow, I mean, that's huge. That's super powerful when we understand that, the mental mind is the chaos that keeps us stuck in certain patterns that don't support us,
Yeah,
certainly don't empower us to move forward in the direction that we want to, but actually
yeah,
those mental models just keep us stuck, as you say, in the past, and then we keep repeating the same pattern, but we don't actually even realize we're doing it because it's at such an unconscious level.
exactly, and that's what the sort of retreat kind of it highlights these things. You suddenly well, you don't normally. I don't. So I say you because I think it's one of the things, but it's actually me because that's what I found, and I definitely noticed that you know you I was just doing this all the time, and it's not until you go on this you suddenly take a step back and go, well, hang on a minute,
Yeah.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's another thing actually that someone else from the team actually I was talking to Jane, and she was talking about a grounding technique actually that happened just before we went away actually that I've been using, and that was the one when you use your finger and your thumb. So because I tend to overthink and then I worry,
Yeah.
so but this isn't actually what she told me. She told me to use, I think which hand it was, but she said, if you can crack this, it's like you can do this, and then you put your finger and your thumb together. But I have another side of it where I tend to sort of worry, and I'm trying to catch it earlier.
Mm,
So it's the worrying and the sort of the overthinking. So
mm,
now when I do that, I'm already ahead of the game. When my left hand is the overthinking
mm,
and worrying thing. I don't know what you call that,
mm.
Katie, when you do this,
Well,
but it's working.
probably, yeah, she's probably helping you to set an anchor. So an anchor is,
Yeah,
yeah, like a positive, it's like a signal to the
yeah,
mind that, okay, I know when this happens, it switches. It's like a pattern interrupt almost, but you're
yeah,
anchoring a certain state.
yeah.
So if I
So
want to
that,
anchor, like, when I do this, let's say whatever it might be, whatever your hand gesture, that's anchoring. I'm in an upbeat state,
mm,
I'm in a resourceful state.
yeah,
And so it switches you straight away, by having that
yeah,
anchor. Yeah.
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 So I think that's just something that just happened to be. It was good timing that she said that because it became quite relevant
Mm,
from the retreat that I was then okay.
mm.
Now I can see why that strategy might work and all that technique, and that's why I've been doing it. It's working quite well.
Brilliant, brilliant, excellent. So if somebody was considering coming on, let's say whether it was beyond the belief retreat or another retreat with us, but maybe they weren't sure whether it was right for them, what would you say to them, Robbie?
I'd actually say that it's actually something for everyone. This is, and the reason I say that is because I spent the week with just the most wonderful group of like-minded people with quite a diverse, broad range of personality types.
Mm,
But we're all on the same page, and
mm,
I think you can probably find that with most people that you might know, that there's always something there that's like-minded about about people, and I think like with yourselves, and I think that and yourself and Nikki, it was just trust everyone trusted in you, and we're in it 100%, and took something away that will be I think it'd be with you forever if you go and do it. I think that's what I would say is you just trust you trust in it, and it's for everybody.
mm, mm.
Yeah,
Because as we say, this is, well, I say beyond, I'm using the word, but beyond beliefs, but it's also beyond perhaps what people would expect and maybe what they would get from, let's say, just a business retreat or,
yeah.
I don't know, leadership retreat. How would you say it would compare to something like that? What's the difference that they would get in our type of retreat versus, let's say, a structured business retreat? What would you walk away from over and above, let's say, strategic ideas?
It's the mind. I think it goes a lot deeper. Yeah, I can see. It's deeper. I think that the thing with those with something. I mean, I have done other training courses before, but they don't they only last a certain amount of time, and you're saying they're strategic. It
Mm,
doesn't actually sort of make you look at yourself and actually make changes that are going to have a much bigger impact on your business and your personal life.
mm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And if there was one word or a phrase that captures your experience, what would that be?
Enlightened, but you know that already.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Well, look, Robbie, thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with us, because it's been really special to hear your reflections. And for anyone who is listening who's curious about Beyond Beliefs Retreat or any of our other retreats that we are holding, or maybe you're wondering if this kind of experience could be right for you, message us and we can send you the details of the next one and when that's happening. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you again. So Robbie, thank you so much once more.
You're welcome. Thank you, Katie. Good to talk to you.
Take care.